If you are looking to work in project management, you must understand the difference between working as a permanent employee or as an independent consultant. I'm Rogério Manso and I'm gonna help you to start projecting now. Most enterprises only need the project management professionals for the duration of a project, not for the lifetime of an enterprise. Usually you have permanent employees, and in the same situations when you need to execute a project, you can hire a consultant. A consultant can provide a company with expertise in a particular area that you cannot find among your employees. Consultants are often more experienced than employees for a specific subject, on a specific activity, and can offer valuable insights outside from the company that you may not be available from other members in your team. That's why most companies hire project management professionals just to work in the specific project during the duration of this project. A consultant may not be a more cost-effective option than an employee for a certain task, but considering the duration of the project, could be the best option for many companies that have no project management as the final business in your company. If you're asking what is the best option for your career, working as a consultant or a permanent employee? Well, the answer is depends on your objectives and experience. There are pros and cons using either a consultant or an employee when working in a project in a company. A permanent employee offers more stability and consistency in their job. An employee is usually more committed to their job and will be more likely to stay with a company for a long period of time. Consultants are less likely to be committed to the project long term. If the project, for example, not going well, maybe they can choose to move to another company rather than stay around this project and try to solve the problem. There's many situations, I experienced many situations where I see professionals that did not like the project, did not like the environment where they are working, quit the company as a consultant. As a permanent, I would say that this is not so frequent. Consultants typically charge higher fees than employees do. Employees are more likely to develop personal relationships with their co-workers because they stay working in the company for a long time. With this can lead to better communication and cooperation among the team. This is important when we talk about projects. So if you're asking this question, I recommend that you first think about your professional goals and your current experience. These 2 points will help you to define what is the best option for you. In general, I would say that if you're starting your career working as a permanent employee, it's a better option, as it will give you more stability and give you the first experience. You can stay in a company for a long time, for a long period, and acquire some experience and develop some skills that usually as a consultant you must have to when you start your career. However, if you're an experienced professional and if you are looking for some challenge and maybe more money, working as an independent consultant, it's a good choice. So think about it when you are asking if you're gonna go to as a consultant or permanent employee. When it comes to decide if you work as a consultant or a permanent employee, there are some characteristics that you need to evaluate before making this decision. One point you need to think about is about the flexibility to work on different domains and projects. As a consultant, you have more control over where you're gonna work, in which project you're gonna work, and you can choose which project and companies and domain you can work. Also, you can move from different domains and improve your experience among different companies. It's very common that at the end of a project in a company, you need to move to another company and you're gonna start working in a totally different project. You can stay in the same company for more time, but as a consultant, this does not happen frequently. Consultants are typically hired for their experience in one area, in a specific subject. And then you can move between different projects as you need. This flexibility can be an advantage for consultants since it allows you to stay up to date in industry trends and developments. It's very common that you hire a consultant because this person is a specialist in a specific kind of project. As a permanent employee, however, you will only work on projects related to your company's domain. If you work in for example, in a health company or aeronautical company or IT company, usually you're gonna work on this kind of project. If you work in a construction company, or if you want to get experience in, for example, in the entertainment projects, you cannot have this experience in your company. You need to quit this company and to find another company. So the flexibility to move between different domains and different projects is something that for some people it's very important. And if you're looking to have more flexibility, maybe you can work as a consultant. But if you are looking for some stability, stay as a permanent employee. Another important point when choosing between consultant and permanent job is the adaptation to job environment. As a permanent employee, it's much more easier to get this adaptation. Of course, in the beginning, you're gonna pass some period where you need to adapt. But after this period, you don't need to readapt every time. As a consultant, however, you need to restart to adapt to a new job environment every time you start a new project in a new client. When you start a work as a consultant, you should have this in mind that they are looking that you start producing, become productive as soon as possible. So the adaptation period for a consultant is really short. I would say that when you start working as a consultant in a new customer, you're gonna have some days or some weeks maximum to really understand the environment and to become delivering something. As a permanent employee, this process will only happen at the beginning of your work. And as you become more and more senior in your job, this adaptation and this flexibility to move inside your company will be much more easy and interesting for you. One of the main points when we talk about working as a consultant or a permanent employee, it's about job stability. There's no doubt that working as a permanent is more stable than working as a consultant. Typically, consultants are hired on a ad hoc basis and according to a specific project. You're going to stay working in this company during this project. Once this project does not longer exist, or for example, this project is cancelled, your work is no longer needed. So you need to start a new project, or even to find a new customer. Another point concerns to the quality of your work and interaction with your customers and the team. You could be out of job if the number of clients decreases and if they don't like your work. For example, if the company is not agreed with your service, it's not in accordance with your service, maybe they will stop your contract. If you are a permanent employee, what it's gonna do is that usually company will invest in give you training or evaluating your service to become better, to get a better performance. This will not happen if you are a consultant. A consultant professional is someone that should be ready. You have no alternative, you have no option to learn or to be adapted to your job. Companies hire consultants because I'm assuming that you are ready to start producing right now. Permanent employees, on the other hand, they have more reliable income and less like to go to fired due to economic reasons. One situation very common is when a company is getting by a difficult situation, economically difficult situation. The first people they will, cut off is the consultants, because the cost to replace a permanent employee is much more than a consultant. A permanent employee is saw by the company as a long-term asset. So they will invest in you, they will train you, they will forge you to become a good professional inside the company. As a consultant, you will not have this investment in your career. You should manage your career. You need to look for this stability, becoming a better professional. So if you're looking for stability, job stability, choose to become a permanent employee. When it comes to salaries and benefits, a consultant will, in general, get more money, make more money than a permanent employee. Why? Because a consultant is a professional that they know that it's a temporary service. At the end, they need to search a new contract, a new customer, and this could take some time. So this time, it's included in your price. Also, a consultant is, in general, a more experienced and more specialized professional. So they will charge you more for this. This difference depends from company to company, for domain to domain. But I could give you an example. A consultant salaries here in the United States, it could be around, in average, about $75,000 and could range up to $150,000 or more. If you're a permanent employee, maybe the average salary to start is about $70,000 per year. However, as a permanent employee, you're gonna have some benefits that as a consultant will not have, like vacations paid, insurance, retirement savings plans, and some other benefits that as a consultant you not have. Usually a consultant only charge the hour rate. And an employee, permanent employee, you're gonna have your salary plus the benefits. The advantage, one advantage that consultants have over employees is that many consultant firms offer flexible working hours and locations, so we can work in different places at the same time. And this is important if you're considering this mobility in your work. In general, I would say that consultants get more money than employees, permanent employees. However, you need to pay more tax and you don't have benefits. So think about these points when you decide to work as a consultant or a permanent employee. Another important point when you choose your career as a consultant or a permanent employee is that how you work your career progression. And this is, for me, one of the most important points to evaluate when you have this question in mind. As a permanent employee, you can follow a career based in your company. Normally, a company has some careers and a plan to develop your career where you're going to start as a junior, go to intermediate and senior roles. And this career is based on your experience, your results, and also the time that you stay in this company. As a consultant, you don't have this career, you don't have this plan in your career. You will not be promoted because you did a good service in a customer. As a consultant, you are the manager of your career. How are we gonna do to become a senior professional or move from junior to intermediate role? It depends on you. You need to work your career as you are the manager. Normally, at the end of each contract, at each customer, I used to evaluate my next contract, my next job. And in my next job, I would evaluate if this new job will give me some extra knowledge, some extra experience, a different experience, so I can move slowly in my career progression. The point is, sometimes you need to, as a consultant, you have, for example, you're working in a senior position, and when you finish this job, you don't find a similar opportunity in the same level, and then sometimes you need to find another job with a little bit lower level to keep working, and then in the next job you can move up to a next level. So this process could have ups and downs in your career. This is not a big problem if you manage right your career. The same point doesn't happen if you are a permanent employee. If you do a good job, if you are a permanent employee, the idea is that you can move always moving up in your career. You will not have a downgrade in your role in a company. If they are not happy with you, they will fire you, but normally they will not downgrade you. They will promote you for the next level, or if they are not happy, they will fire you. But as a consultant, maybe you can have a position that you need to downgrade in the next contract until you find a good opportunity. This depends on how important you can manage your career, because most of the time you don't know what is the next contract, your next opportunity as a consultant. So we need to manage very well these contracts, this job, to make sure that you're gonna increase your knowledge, increase your experience, and get more value in your curriculum to the next position. For example, if you're working as a consultant and you have, for example, 2 or 3 years working in a specific type of project, maybe after these 2 or 3 years, you can apply for a more complex or more senior project based on your experience. And then you can work again in this level of seniority project for more 2 or 3 years, and then you move to another level. The point here is that as a permanent employee, your career progression is managed by the company. And as a consultant, your career progression is managed by you.